So when we're going along in our comfort zone, we kind of know the path, right? We know what we're doing, where we're going, or at least it's familiar to us, and we can kind of trundle our way through, and we might end up in the same place that we've always been at. We might want it to be different, but we don't really know how to do it different. One of the things I've learned from the research is we are imprinted with these early memory banks, and these get loaded into our time capsules. And so we just keep going the old familiar path. We wish it could be different. Whenever something happens, like, okay, we'll do X, something happens, and we're on our road, on the same old comfortable path that we're on, and we're going whatever way we are, we get activated here. And we want something different. This is what I call protest, based on the research of John Bowlby and James Robertson. We protest what's happening. We want it to be different. But most of the time, we don't know what that difference is. We don't know what it could be. We just know inside something's not right here, and we want something to be different. We just don't know that pathway. And that's the pathway that I've been mapping. One of the things I've learned, whenever I step outside my comfort zone, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to grow. I'm going to develop. It may be disruptive. It may not be comfortable, but I'm going to learn a lot. And one of the very important things from both the ancient wisdom traditions, but the attachment theory, is that when I can learn how to navigate this pathway from here to here, I actually begin to develop a solid, secure, steady self inside. I call it an unshakable heart. I can be with whatever happens with some ease. Now, there's a pathway to get there, and I know well. I described in the accelerator how I go into the transformational vortex. I go kicking and screaming. It's not like I have learned to do it flawlessly, but what has happened is I have learned how to use the feedback coming back from me as I step outside, make my tiny little steps out, is that I can hear it as feedback, that I'm not hearing it as mistakes, like there's something wrong with me. Instead, I learned that mistakes arise as wisdom. This is really one of the best things about life, I think, is when I can make things that aren't quite right, that don't quite fit with other people, that trigger other people, that get activated, and I can learn from it and grow and develop and do it better the next time, and better than time after that, and the time after that. That's how we build these little steps. Now, there's another really important thing I learned, is that the space between this protest and what we find out is, let's draw it like this, maybe the vortex of doom or the transformational vortex. It doesn't feel nice. In other words, this place that we go into on our way to where we want to go is like we're taking a deep dive in, and it does not feel pleasant. Most people avoid this like the plague, which is why when we're trundling on our path, we go back to what's old and familiar. We go back to what we know, because this means we're like, ugh, ugh, ugh. We cycle down. The more often we do this, the more comfortable we get with the transformational process. Not easy. We build what I call this inner platform inside. Instead of going all the way down into the doom, we build a platform inside so it doesn't have to be as awful. That's what we're trying to do, because our nature, our human spirit, our developmental impulse, our imperative is to step outside of this comfort zone and keep building a life that's bigger, better, more, where we can be more, we can express ourselves more, we can have more, we can more fully occupy our own inner world and our external world. Take a step today, make a mistake, and learn from it. That's how we grow and develop.